situation.
Yeah.
And welcome back to Down with the Get Down. It's your boy Romeo.
And your boy Derek.
Appreciate y'all coming through for another. If you guys are watching right now on YouTube, I don't even know if I mentioned, since we were doing so many YouTube videos, I've been having all of those uploaded. So we have a bulk of videos that we don't have as far as on the podcast side uploaded.
Yeah.
So I was about to say, this could be the start. If that's something I'm bringing this live, I'm bringing it live on the video. Like it can be the start of bringing it back if you want to upload these or keep them in the bank.
Yeah, no, we'll upload these too.
Tight. All right. Well, if you guys are listening on the audio versions, you about to have a bulk load of stuff coming through. A lot of content, especially if you guys are only like podcast listeners primarily. You're about to have a lot of stuff that you haven't heard as far as conversations and stuff in the media that we've been discussing that we'll throw out there. But
actually, you know what we should do?
What?
We'll do. I don't know. That'll probably be kind of weird since we do a lot of our stuff now on PlayStation, and you can upload the audio's version of that. But like, maybe it would make audio people want to like listen or watch more if we only do like if we're doing it in person. Those will be on YouTube, and if they want to see those, they got to go to YouTube. So yeah, we might do something like that. Yeah, y'all let us know how y'all feel about that.
That's true. Hey, because then we can split up some type of the content, some of the audio content specifically for things, and there may be more for more serious topics, or depending on if you guys want to have us physically here, have more serious topics. But other than all that, we love that we're able to have content like this. We're actually at my crib right now, kicking, vibing it. Set up a little area for us to try to do a little bit of playing around with angles and recording. So if you guys like it like this, let us know. We may try out as far as I have a desk over here on the side. We might try that as well. But as far as topics for today, it is a little bit on the heavy side, a little bit on the weird tip. No Diddy,
not a little bit,
not a little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah. So we are talking about the Predators, Chris Hansen stuff. You know,
yes. Dateline.
There's been a lot of, mind you, I just want to full transparency. This is our third time making this video.
We started this originally playing. We were playing the game, and our usual format you guys watch on YouTube with the gameplay plus the topics.
Yeah.
And then we tried to record this last night. We were very tired.
Very tired. These mics that we're using that y'all gonna see in the Deadpool video.
Yeah.
I didn't know they need to charge, so completely my bad.
Oh, apologies in advance. I do not know if this video is going to come out first or Deadpool's going to come out first, depending on whichever one we shoot out first.
It'll probably be the Deadpool since that just came out, and then this one we'll probably do this on like Wednesday.
Okay, so the audio's a lot better on this one.
Yeah,
so please forgive us for what you may hear on Deadpool. That one is a little choppy, but you can still hear us for the most part.
Yeah, this is our first time like actually using these, so we're just trying some different things out with these. And our second video, they were dying, and we kept turning back on. We thought that it was just going to take the audio, and it was just going to have to fix it. It didn't take anything. So we were just talking for no reason.
Bro, it was literally working for a second because we had like a half a button, so you'll hear me talking, and the next thing you know, I plugged in the cord over on the side right here, and I plugged it into the side because we found out, these need to be charged. Who would have thought?
Yeah. The little puffs, you can't see the port.
We thought it was just the regular port that was on there. But once we figured that out, we were like, "Yep, scrap the whole thing. We'll try again today." So now we're hitting it hard, going forward, and it's gonna be a great time. Get some good things going. But let's dive right deep into it.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of these guys out here in social media, which hurts my heart, honestly, when it comes to content creators who have a big following, especially content creators who have a big following with children, young people who look up to them, and then you find out that they may be trying to come after somebody that looks just like them, or have conversations or get a little bit too close in situations like we. In our last previous scrap video, we mentioned Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
And that one was the first one I guess we can touch on as being having weird waves.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Dr. Disrespect, he's huge on Twitter. I'm not Twitter, Twitch, for different games and stuff like that. Mostly, I think like Call of Duty. I think it was Call of
Yeah, it was
Duty.
Call of Duty. I believe that's the one
Because I know he
I
has
don't
like
really watch
I
it,
know
but
he
that's
has
the
a
one I saw.
skin in Call of Duty. So they made like a Dr. Disrespect like skin or whatever. But mostly all that stuff.
Just scrap that, boy. I
They
hope that's still not on there.
They actually had scrapped his like before this stuff ever came out.
Oh, okay. It was like one of the seasonal things.
Nah, it was, I think, when he got banned from going to whatever that gaming thing is that they have. He got banned from going to there because he was recording in the bathroom. The thing I was saying about, he was doing a vlog and he went into the bathroom to record, and he got banned because they were like, you can't do that because it's invasion of like privacy.
Okay.
Though he wasn't actually recording anybody, he was recording himself, and his cameraman was like outside the stall until they like made like a picture or something like that
So
out of it.
It just made it look weird.
Yeah, but like when you hear it, you're just like, he's recording people in the bathroom. Yeah. But like nobody, I don't think anybody was in the bathroom during that time, and he wasn't like recording anybody. But still, so he got banned for that, and then I think that's when they took his skin off of there.
The way you said that. Yeah, they found him in there, and that's when they took his skin off.
But yeah, so it was that. But more recently, they said that he was talking to an underage person, talking about meeting up with them and buying their tickets to whatever event was going on. I can't remember what the event was. Do you remember what it was?
No, I don't remember what event was. Wasn't it some gaming thing?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And like I said, third time doing this, I don't remember everything anymore. I've talked about it. So there are things that I don't say. It's because I've forgotten.
Forgive us if we skip over details. Yeah. We're glossing over for the most part and then getting to like just the major hidden points.
Yeah, yeah. So that happened. It was allegations at first, and then he came out and was like, yeah, I did it. I talked to this person. We never met up. I never did anything with them. But sometimes, hey, our conversations, it might have got a little bit spicy. It was a little bit inappropriate. I shouldn't have done it, but hey, it is what it is. We all do that sometimes. And I was like, we all.
Ooh. The fan allegations start creeping up real fast.
It's super weird. And the only reason it got leaked was because somebody's NDA got the time lapse was over with it, and it also proved that like there's a lot of people out there on Twitch that are weirdos that talk to underage people, because he was like, there's a lot of them out there. His job was looking through the chat logs for specific phrases and words or whatever, and not to flag them, I guess, because they make Twitch a lot of money. So it was really just to hide it. So that whole thing went down. I feel really bad for his wife and his kid. I'm not sure how their relationship's going with that. He's lost a lot of his friends, a lot of YouTubers coming out for him and stuff like that. And then we have.
No, I was like, that's something that I actually want to touch on when you talk about the relationship thing, because when in situations like with him, it's very disheartening and concerning to think about the fact that breaking up a home in that type of fashion. It's something that you automatically could have been avoided, because like even looking at his situation, yes, what he did, he deserves everything coming to him. That's a very weird and alarming position to be in as a grown man. Yeah. And so with him being in that, it's like, dang, that's messed up. But now you got to think about, like, people already get upset about a woman doing OnlyFans and your kid, your kid's friends find out and they start bullying your kid. Now find out that your dad is a weirdo. Yeah, that's even worse. Like this day, you're not even thinking about the effects it can have on your kids. Now, same thing with your wife. Now your wife got to go back to her folks and be like, oh yeah, so yeah,
it's plastered all over the internet. Yeah, and everybody is like, oh, Dr. Disrespect, that's your husband.
Man, it's like
he what?
man.
So yeah, it was like a whole
freaky ass nerd.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing that's weird is like, even though he did what he did,
Yeah.
um, I still technically wouldn't fault the wife for staying with him
No,
because,
that's
like,
yeah.
though he didn't actually do anything with the person, I feel like he's depending on how like the talks were. I feel like it would be a little bit easier for him to get help for that, and then they would obviously things wouldn't be the same, but he would have to obviously do the work to get help. And like, it's not just easy to leave because I'm not. I know their kid is young. I'm not sure how young, but if he's also as big as he is, I don't know if she works at all. So like, he's probably the person that's providing everything too.
Yeah, so it's like it's a dicey situation because I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, unless if they have a prenup, then well, they have a prenup, then yeah, she ain't gonna get nothing. But then if they don't have a prenup, then she could try to be on. She could take that route of being like,
Well,
okay,
yeah,
yeah,
there's that, but I was more so on the thing of like, some people don't like divorce for like the sake of like the child, right?
yeah.
Like they might stick together just for their kid, and then when their kid becomes like an adult,
Then
then
it's
they're
like call
like,
it a wrap.
we can finally,
Man, that's so sad.
finally.
That's a whole nother thing. I hate that for people trying to like overdoing this for the kids, and it just creates a more toxic environment because it's not going to be built on. It's not going to be built on a good foundation.
Yeah,
For that child, it's going to be more of a transactional thing, and then you just creating those cycles over again. But and then especially if the kid finds out about what's going on, now that's a whole other potential psychological cycle that you might have to face down the line of being like, oh, this is what dad's into.
I'm not
And
gonna lie, this is never gonna go away.
it's not.
You know how many people still talk about EDP?
Yeah.
Till
Yeah.
this day, they still talk about the stuff with EDP, making jokes about EDP and all the other stuff. And like, everything that he's gone through has been really bad too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad for him though,
No.
because at one point I did, because he was talking about he was trying to get help,
Yeah.
and he couldn't live anywhere because they kept calling the place and spamming it, and so he could never live in certain places for very long. He kept getting doxxed and everything, and getting a whole bunch of like, death threats. And then I was like, man, that really sucks. And then he was trying to make a comeback, and then he ended up talking to a kid again. So
You can't call it a comeback, huh?
I was like, look, okay,
bro, that's tough. No,
yeah.
what the hell?
So, and the thing is, with that, I'm not sure if it was real or not.
Yeah.
Because it was with Gideon. So like, I don't know if it was real or fake.
Okay.
But I'm more sort of leaning it being real, maybe.
I would say it'd be a little bit more on the real side, because if you already got like in trouble for something like that, why joke about it?
Some people are
to that extent.
Some people are like that.
Oh, I guess what like I guess that's like one of the top things that I wouldn't see people making if you already been in a situation. It's like Drake, for example. It's like he said, why would I do that? Why would I do that? Do I like a person that would do that?
Yeah.
And that's how he kind of rapped it in his song.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that was a horrible argument. Like, it sounded catchy, but it was like it was a horrible argument. It's the same thing for those other people that are like, I'm not a predator. I like a predator. You.
Yeah. Well, also, no, it wasn't that. That wasn't what it was. I thought he was like, if I actually did it, I would have been caught already.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. He's like, it's the same thing with the predators. It's like, I was like, do I look like I? He's like, do I look like I would touch a kid? I mean, some of y'all.
I will say, like, some of them for sure look like they would touch a kid.
Some of y'all not being
And speaking of the ones that look like they would touch a kid, I'm going to talk about Chris.
All right, he went straight for it.
So if you don't know who Chris is, Chris Tyson, I think is his last name. It starts with a T. That's all I remember.
Oh, I wanted to say this first for the viewers that are watching this right now. If you see, ignore my socks. I'm very cold right now. I just wanted to say that. They're gonna be like, why you got these Christmas socks on or these old man socks? No, they're thick and they have cushion in them. And my air conditioner is on blast right now because my girlfriend loves to freeze me. But it works for everybody else.
I mean, hey, I love the cold. I've had the air blowing in here.
In the regular studio, we be in that joint burning,
sweating,
sweating. We have a great time though every single time, but hot. But yeah, as you were saying about the nasty man.
Yeah. So Chris, I think his name is Tyson. He is the best friend of Mr. Beast. If you don't know who Mr. Beast is, I don't know where you've been living. I mean, Mr. Beast is
he's the YouTube savior.
Basically, he's like he's a multi-millionaire, right? Or is he a billionaire?
No, I don't think he's hit a billion yet.
He's multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
So he basically does like a whole bunch of challenges where he gives out like a whole bunch of money. He's done a different like building wells and stuff like that in like Africa, and helped people in need and things of that nature. Anyways,
a lot of useful things.
He's done a lot of things to help people. Yeah. And so Chris was one of his longtime friends, been with him for years. And then it came out recently that he is a freak going after them children. He got caught messaging 2 underage people. Well, he's actually apparently he's messaged like a lot of underage people before. Right. But the 2 main ones, there's a 13-year-old and I think the other one was like 14, 15, something like that. Met up with them both. One dude was like, he didn't do anything with me. My parents were there. But apparently that dude still works for them. Yeah. So he's probably under NDA. The one dude that came out against him was like, he's probably lying because he's under NDA and I wouldn't sign one. So Chris got rid of me. So there was that. What did he say? He did that. He had talked about this other thing. What was it yesterday that I said?
He said he talked about what was the last thing you just said? I'm trying to see if I can.
He was talking to the kid. He met up with the kid.
Yeah.
And then he got rid of the other dude. Oh, I remember. Okay. He's into lollies.
That's what it was. I was like, something's missing. Something's missing.
So he's into lollies. If you don't know what lollies are, the best example, it's like anime characters that look like kids, but they're probably an adult. Like most of the time they're adults, I would probably say, but they just look like small children. For example, you have like Biscuit Oliver.
Yeah,
I think her name's not Oliver.
No, that's Biscuit. You think about Biscuit
Oliver? Biscuit is
swole. That's not a little lady.
Biscuit is swole too.
When she turns to her actual form. To the actual thing.
So if you've seen Hunter Hunter, there's Biscuit. She's technically a lolly. You have
Bond's wife.
Yeah.
From 7 Deadly Sins, the little fairy girl.
Elaine.
Yeah, Elaine.
He is a lolly and stuff like that. And so there's an artist on Twitter who makes lolly like corn and also just normal pictures. And Chris is into that. He liked them a lot. He did. He commented under a whole bunch of them, and one of which absolutely disgusting.
All right.
Because the guy, like I said yesterday, he takes actual children and makes the lolly stuff for that.
Okay.
So he did one of Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls. They're twins, brother and sister, and they were doing stuff to each other. And he commented under that, and he was like, well, since they're twins, it's technically masturbation. and I was like,
not okay.
I was like, you're
not okay.
Disgusting.
Why they? It's not. Hold up. I need to uncross my legs.
I was like, you're
because Dipper, because I love Gravity Falls.
I do too.
That is,
I've seen Gravity Falls so many times.
That makes me very, very uncomfortable, and then it makes me very concerned with like when you have people like that in your circle, being at such the height that he is, and like trailing off to Mr. Beast, with him having people like that in his circle, in his brand. Not only does he can potentially take a hit from having that, which I understand he's probably immediately gonna be like, I have nothing to do with this dude. Like you said, they were
he got like fired or whatever.
Yeah.
He said he stepped down, but it seems like he got fired.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Conversation
obviously
crazy.
Yeah, and then people were coming after Mr. Beast too.
Yeah,
because they're like, how did you not know? And then the picture came out when he was in his house looking at his lolly poster, and they're like, oh, Mr. Beast has known this whole time. He's probably in on it too.
He walked in on this man and saw this and was like, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
I mean, because like I said when we were talking about it yesterday, like if you had that in your house, I wouldn't really think anything of it, because like they're anime posters at the end of the day, and it's ambiguous on whether you like it because they look like that and you're weird, or you just like the character that it is. So like you don't really know unless you like ask, and it's very easy for people to just lie. like you could have
they're all lying.
Hey, like you could have her like Bisky as like a poster. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you like Bisky or whatever, and you're like, yeah, she's a cool character and all this other stuff. Secretly, you're over here just like, yeah, I like her a lot.
I'm dead. I really like it. I really like it. No, that is a perfect example right now. We have this background.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Everybody on here
is a minor.
Yeah, only people that are older, like Donald and Goofy. They're at the very top.
Donald, Goofy, and Mickey's not on there. But yeah, like all of them are minors. And when I come in here and I look at that, I don't think anything of it. Now he could very well be a freak and not tell me.
You come in here, you're like little did you know.
And you just over here be like, when you walk away.
Look over and see the Jump Force poster and be like, everyone but Goku.
Yeah, everyone but Goku is a minor.
Everyone but Goku.
But that's like the issue when it comes to like anime and stuff like that. Like most of the time they're minors, right? And so when people have posters, and like you said, like somebody having like the thing on like the cars and stuff like that.
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, like it's very hard to tell if somebody's like into it because they just like the character, or if they're into it sexually. So
do that part loosely.
Sexually, so like you just never really know,
right?
So I don't really fault him for like not saying anything about it in that instance. But what I will say is, like I said yesterday, I don't know if this is real or not. I haven't looked into it, and I was going to last night, but I was tired, so I didn't do it. There's a message log that leaked of they were all like in a little group chat or whatever. I think it was probably on Discord, and they were talking about like somebody's size, and apparently that person's like underage or something like that. And Chris was like, he's not that big, I would know, I've seen it or something. And then Mr. Beast was like, nah, he's pretty huge. And then like some other person was like, Mr. Beast is talking about my junk, I love it. And then somebody was like, Mr. Beast, are you gay? And then it was just like a whole line of things. Man. I don't know if it's real or not, so don't put that out there. If it's not real, people are weird for putting it out there. And if it is real, it's even worse.
God willing that it's not real, but if it is real, it's just knocking off the tier list of people with money that just do. It just makes you feel like they do great things just to cover it up.
Yeah, that's what I had said yesterday. It's like he does all this, like, if all this stuff is true about him.
That's completely if we're not putting that on him.
If all of this stuff is true, right. It's probably why he does so many good things, to hide his guilt from all of the bad things that he's done.
Either that or he got weird friends and he's like, I love my friends and I gotta keep them safe.
Well, I mean, I will
keep them safe for so long until they get out.
I mean, like, a lot of people haven't liked Chris ever since he became trans, because whenever that stuff started happening, he had been doing like a whole bunch of weird stuff. And every single time, Mr. Beast would defend him because that's his best friend. Just like if you started doing weird shit, I would still support you. And if people had an issue with it, I would just, publicly defend you. But also, behind closed doors, I'll be like, hey, you tighten up.
Get together. Because no.
And it seems like the situations, it doesn't seem like he did that for him. It just seems like he just kept being like, I'm going to defend you because you're my best friend and you do you, all those stuff.
Hey, this is hurting me. Now I got to go plant freaking 19 more trees over in Africa messing with you. Look, I'm tired of being over there. It's hot.
I get bit up by mosquitoes trying to give them water.
He like, man, these folks over here tweaking. Like he said, bro, every time I come out here you go. At first it's lolly, then it's over here you texting folks. Now I'm over here you talking about people's sizes. He's like, but you with the messages that we can't even prove that one. He's like, calm down on that one.
So yeah, I don't know, man. This shit's it's just really, really weird. Also, I'll say because I said it yesterday. Just because he's trans doesn't mean he.
Oh yeah,
it's not like trans people in general that are like the problem. It's just like weirdos like him. And like I said, like a lot of that stems from a lot of the predators or whatever being in the LGBT and trans. Even though it's not, I'm not gonna say a lot because it's not a lot. It's like the minority, but it's like it's not even what gets pushed. It's just what people hear about the most.
Yeah,
because it's
the stereotype. It's like what you.
Well, no, I mean like when somebody does something wrong, right? It's just easy to find, obviously, because it's in the news. So like, it's in the news, it's reported. So just like with Black people, when we commit crimes, it's all in the news. It's very easy to find, but it's not indicative of like Black people as a whole. It's just obviously it has to be reported.
No, that's why.
That's what people see, and then that's what some people use as like, well, all Black people are like an issue, and so those people generalize the whole community of people based off of like the minority of what people do. And so that's like the issue with like the trans shit is like that stuff.
You just explained to me what I was. You just explained what I was saying. Stereotype that it was developing. It was developing into a stereotype that's what is generalized into everything. Probably. So like with the LGBTQ plus community, that's when something like that happens and it's one of them. That's something that's like you say, it's easy. Is already in the media. That's what we deem as when you first think of. Oh, I got a little boy got touched. You think it's instantly some gay dude, right? You think it's somebody from that community. If it's a stereotype, you're gonna think creepy, and then the first thing you're gonna think is creepy. Then you're gonna think of that person swings that way because why would they touch somebody of the same thing? So you automatically lump them in, and they could just be some random weirdo, and not somebody from that community. But it gets 10 times worse. Same thing like you said with the crime.
They would technically be a part of that community.
No, I'm saying I said happen to be a part of the community.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like I mean, technically they would be, but
you happen to be a part of the community. Yeah. And then it just makes it worse because that's what the media is going to portray because they're pushing that narrative that like, oh, we already don't agree with what you do, so we don't agree with what you do, and then we find out you're also a weirdo. That's gonna coincide with the fact of all of y'all are weirdos, and like same thing you said, like with Black folks being on the like only thing you see on the news is gun violence from Black people, and then that might not be that's obviously not everybody. So when we do, and you like, damn, it happened to be somebody that's Black, you're like, oh, you gave more ammo for the media. So it's like same thing for them. You got more ammo when you do weird stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that. It's not necessarily because I don't really feel like it would be a stereotype necessarily for that because of how I guess most people would consider them to be a protected class. So even though like when stuff like that happens, when I meant like the news or whatever, it's not like on the news. Like it'll be like posted on like the website, but they're not going to show it on TV. You have to like find it out just by like looking for it. So it's not like promoted because they're like, you can't say anything bad about them. So then they can't do stuff like that.
No, well, so I guess not now. It would be maybe I'm still like maybe years past in the past because I've seen like I seen TikTok videos of like Law and Order when they were showing a guy who ended up. They said a little kid got touched. And it was and they ended up saying it was this guy who happened to be gay, who was a teacher. And so when they were talking about it, they instantly were like, "We knew it. We knew you did it. We knew you were touching him, so and so, so and so." So that's what I think instantly. Oh, you stereotyping, dude.
Yeah, you think about something that's not real. I saw a Law and Order. They did this.
I saw no, because I was saying like they still like I was like you're still making making clips about stuff like that. You still have it on your back.
I mean, they do that as a way to like to they'll use an example like that because did he actually do it?
No.
Right. So they do that as a way to like be like people have hatred towards these people and you shouldn't because he didn't do it. And so that's the reason for that. It's not that he did it and people are like you did this and then
they're just trying to prove a reverse point.
Basically. Yeah. Like that's why they do it a lot. Like when you see it a lot, like they just do it for that reason. But like they just use it as like the example to be like, hey, you shouldn't judge these people.
Yeah, it's like we know
these people
know
are swell.
That's why I was like, it hits 10 times harder when it does happen, because then it's like, oh, now you feeding. It's like, dang, it's like how we have the fear of when Donald Trump they tried to do the attempt on him, and every black person, please don't let him be black. Every person that was black, brown, whatever you were, they were just like, please, do not let it be one of us. Now we have nothing against. We have nothing against white folks. We have nothing against anybody else.
I have nothing against anybody. I don't care, right? But I just didn't want it to be black.
It just could not be in this moment. We were like, it would just look bad. Y'all know.
I was happy that Trump didn't die. It was unfortunate that the dude did die, the firefighter. Yeah. And then when I found out it was like a weird white dude, I was like, yes.
Yes. How old was he? He was 20. Yes.
So I was like, it's all good. It's kosher.
It's all good in the hood. But yeah, that's just just piggybacking into the with the weirdos. It just it does suck when somebody when you know that's something that gets labeled in your community and that's not like the reality and it happens. It makes it 10 times worse for those around you, because now they're like, oh well. Now you a weirdo, bro. I ain't did nothing. I'm just over here chilling, bro. I just got a wig on.
Yeah, and a lot of it comes from like the whole like bathroom stuff too. So like when they want to go into like women's bathrooms or whatever, and a lot of people have like issue with that. So then even if because there are cases of them like touching kids or women when they go in there, even the people that aren't trying to do that then get labeled as somebody like that because they're like, you're a dude and you shouldn't be in the bathroom with me.
Right.
And so then they get beat up. So like there's certain things that happen that though they view it as like, oh, it's a fair thing or whatever, it's not gonna end up being that because people just aren't gonna accept it. And because they have like a whole little subsection within the LGBT that's called MAPS, which minor attracted persons.
Oh, right.
They've been like at political meetings or whatever talking about like the advocacy for like minor attracted persons because love is love or some shit like that. And so like that because that's a thing, it also makes people look at the LGBT sideways also, because you have, which is also the issue that I have with them, kind of, because like they're so accepting of everybody that they don't exclude certain people that they should.
They need more discernment is what you're saying.
And so because they're accepting of everybody, even though a lot of LGBT people will be like, we don't accept MAPS, technically you do, because there are multiple of you that do accept them within the community, and so that makes the community look bad, right? And so it's just unnecessary hatred for them that they don't need.
They coming like us, the black community. Can't get right. When you're divided, it's too many. You got too. That's the beauty of community, I guess.
It's a lot harder for them. They accept too many people. So when you have an open door policy to anybody that's like, I'm going to wave this flag for you, it's a lot harder for you to kick out the people that are doing wrong.
That is, having an open door policy is a double-edged sword. it's like it's a beautiful thing that you have, because it's like in order for a society to form and for your ideas to kick off, you gotta be able to let them in. But at the same time, it's like you have to be very discerning of who's coming, like you said, who's coming in.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you gotta like be able to differentiate what is a person that's, I guess, fighting for you versus a person that's just trying to impersonate and be you for the benefits.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were saying about Chris. Apparently his sister came out and said he was being weird doing stuff, and that he doesn't really, I think his sister said that he's like fake being trans or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not, but and apparently it's his alleged sister. I guess they can't prove it's his sister or not yet.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's so much information coming out about like the Chris thing, which makes it so funny to me, because once that one thing came out, it's just been an avalanche of information about Chris, and that's what really like annoys me, because all of this stuff is like super public. He's like, Chris is stupid as fuck because he never hid any of it. It's all public, and the same thing with Dr. Disrespect. Like, his stuff is open.
Yeah,
it's just the only reason that his didn't get caught was because there are people that are filtering it. But like Chris, everything he's ever done is like open. It's all something that somebody can easily go find.
All the documents.
You would think, and this happens with like predators a lot, but you would think if you're gonna go out there and do this stuff, you're gonna be smart enough to not get caught doing it. But they get so sidetracked with their mission, they don't look at all the other parts of it, and they just. And I'm glad that they're stupid and they get caught, because it's easy to find them and get the proper amounts of, I guess, justice you would get. It's just the issue that a lot of people now have been being called hypocrites, because with Dr. Disrespect, there are a lot of Twitch streamers that were going out against him. And when the whole thing happened with Chris, none of them said anything. They were all silent, because Chris is trans and you can't talk bad about him.
Nah, you gotta keep the same energy, big dog. That's the a lot of our rules in the United States are double-edged swords, and you got to be okay with the fact that somebody's gonna sit here and speak against what you believe in, because that's what they believe in. Because freedom of speech, whether you like it or not, somebody's gonna be able to speak against whatever you're saying because they genuinely disagree with it. And that's also the beauty of it, is because when they're saying something to you, you're able to hear their perspective, and maybe, just maybe,
you might change your mind.
But
there's a lot of double standards out there, like with the woman I told you about yesterday, who's like 28 or something like that, and she's pregnant by like a 16, 17-year-old boy.
Crazy.
Absolutely wild. And there are multiple women supporting that in her comment section.
Oh, that's what you just jogged my memory about what we talked about yesterday. Speaking of that, and like the double standard of that, I just hate that it's perpetuated on both sides. It's already instilled in the young man's mind that you the man if you get somebody like that, right? Yeah. Same thing. Everybody's infatuated with somebody that's older than them. Everybody wants somebody that's like that seems intangible. You can't really touch them. If they come to you, you feel special. And they just never, when I was somehow earlier saying having discernment, a lot of, like, if there anybody that's young that's listening to this, anybody that's under the age of 18, from high school, middle school, elementary school, have, like, when I say discernment, that means you need to be able to look at your situation and think about, hey, this person is X amount of years older than me, past the age of 18, and they're talking to me, making me feel special. Yes, they make me feel special, and maybe a nice individual, and now they're talking about they want to meet up with me and date me or things like that. Think about the people in your own grade. You don't even like some I know, because I've been there too, where any people, girls or guys, don't want to date anybody in their own grade because they think that they're immature. You think that somebody that's 21 looking at you and you're 13, you think that they look at you as, hey,
she's so mature.
She's so mature for her age. You're 13. Would you date somebody that's 10? You already look at that like that is weird.
Yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, like, a lot of it is because they view themselves as mature already, and everybody around them isn't. And then their parents don't treat them as though they should. They feel that they should be treated. And then this person comes along and they're like, I'm going to treat you the way that nobody around you does, which then is the manipulation that gets them into being like, well, this person cares.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and like I said yesterday, sometimes they already know that this person doesn't care about them past the physical, and they're completely fine with that because they get stuff out of it, because they get money, or they get to flex on the people that are around them and all this other stuff. So like they just do it because they can use that person to their advantage as well. And for some reason, people seem to think because somebody's a minor, they're incapable of having the mental capacity to like manipulate an adult. It's not true. Like we've seen
it. we've been in school before. Like a lot of those people be in their right mind.
Yeah, like a lot of the people, they do not get manipulated into being in a relationship with these older dudes. They really are just like, yeah.
This advice low key goes both ways. This is the first time this point has actually like hit me. You know, this advice goes both ways because at the end of the day, like we're not only speaking to the people who would be the prey in the situation, we're speaking to the predators because we're like, if the prey already knows and they know what you're capable of doing, you're already putting yourself in a position that you should think maybe I shouldn't do this. You don't know if you're even going to go after somebody that's dumb enough to even do that because there's a lot of kids that are smart, and there's a lot of kids that are dumb. And
there's also a lot of kids now, they're gonna use you and then they're gonna tell the police on you.
And now we got the predator catchers. You got folks out here DDT and folks, the suplex city folks. Like,
yeah, they're gonna start carrying soon.
I'm like, I wouldn't even want to be. I wouldn't even want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I'm not 6-foot
pole. I wouldn't even know.
Even if for whatever reason I was a predator, right? I wouldn't want to be one in this year,
especially not in today's climate.
In today's world, I would definitely not want to be that because you don't. And obviously, there are some people that obviously kind of get away with it.
Yeah,
but like, I can't get away with crimes like that no more. So like, I mean, at all.
There's so many, and like this might sound messed up. There's so many better crimes. There's so many better things to do, and you're sitting here like, let me take advantage of someone that can't do that shit. Lame. It's so lame to me.
It's the same thing as like people that grape women.
Yeah,
it's like you're just a fucking loser, bro. like oh, I can't. Like we were watching Smiling Friends yesterday, and he was like, oh, I don't know, I don't think I can talk to a woman, I've never done that before. And then he was like, well, talk to that woman over there, and he instantly grabbed her.
Hello, I'm Dr. Psychotic. Hello, I'm Dr. Psychotic, and I'm here.
Would you like to come back with me to my lab?
Would you like to come back to my laboratory?
And I feel like that's how they are in real life. And
they'd be like, I'm not very good at talking to girls. Yeah, because you didn't even try. You tried one time, and that was the reaction you got, and you were like, never again. I get it.
But I mean, I get it. Didn't try. Rejection is difficult, I guess, if you give a shit. But like, still,
bro,
these
you gotta get used to it again. Like, I feel like we're not used to rejection anymore. Like, well, it's a good thing that we're trying to equal out things, I guess, on men and women's side. But like, as far as like having that fear, you go to that point where you've got to crash out.
Like, yeah, a lot of people have been crash outs lately too. So I mean, that's a thing. I mean, in all these situations, people just got to be careful because if somebody is approaching you on some weird stuff, even if the people are going to use them to gain an advantage, right? You still got to be careful with that because anything can just turn around and one day you're just like, yeah, well, this is the day I'm probably going to cut them off after I get this expensive thing that I'm going to get. And then now you're roofied and you're in a basement.
Wow.
And you thought
escalation.
Escalation. But it can happen just that fast. Like, you don't know. Like a lot of people are only living in the moment of what they're seeing, but they don't think about what are the possibilities that can happen in the future. So you can very well just like be with this person, everything's cool, and now you're dead because there's a lot of serial killers that dated some women and then they killed them
just like that. Just like that. It's just like going piggyback into the part about like just them being celebrities. Let me touch on that a little bit.
Like the idolization and stuff.
Yes, the idolization part. I'll say for you guys who look up to these individuals, and then like God willing, at any point we have fans that may look to us for things and stuff like that.
We're gonna get there.
There definitely there are fine lines between making someone your idol and then just looking up to an individual. And I hate for situations like this to really just like discourage you guys and make you feel like, wow, we can't really trust anybody in these moments. We can't really do that. No, you can definitely trust people, but obviously just realize that people aren't perfect. People aren't perfect. There are a lot of situations where if that happens, then you just charge it. You charge it to the game, and you just keep it pushing. There is no we're in a time where we need to do more scolding of situations, but also offer grace in situations. But like if it goes too far, hell no. But it goes too far, hell no. But like be in a situation where it's like, okay, this is something that you can clearly need to be counseled for. This is clearly cancelable, and this is where we should be moving in droves to do. We should move in waves to get these guys off, and then keep the media safe, keep you guys safe, keep us safe, and our future kids safe. Because at the end of the day, these are guys who are influencing the masses, and they're influencing your children.
Yeah, and like I said yesterday, like at some point we're gonna have like a Discord, and we're gonna be live streaming and stuff like that soon too. So we're gonna be interacting with minors and stuff like that, and that's not an issue. There's no problem with that. And like the
interacting with everyone, minors just may possibly be there.
Well, I mean,
have to word it.
I mean, yeah. No, I get you. No, definitely with this with this topic. I mean, yeah, but because I was gonna say, people have like the argument of like, why would a man be like talking to a minor?
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be any scenario where that would happen.
Yeah.
And technically that's not true depending on like the job that you hold, right?
Yeah.
So like with what we're doing, we would be interacting with everybody, and minors would be included in that. But that it's still on us to monitor the way that we speak to them, because there are Discord groups that like where some people post anything, right? And they might post like inappropriate stuff, but there are also groups, there's a way for you to filter that so that if there are like, you can make it to where only 18 plus people get in, and then you can like make a separate one for like anybody, which I feel like we would probably do something like
and then
that.
You have moderators in there just to keep clear out the weirdos.
Yeah, because even if we make an 18 plus thing, and obviously some kids lie and they get in there and something were to like happen, I mean, it's not on us, because we don't know that they lied, right? So there's different ways to like protect yourself in talking about these other things. And like we'll have like moderators, and I don't really necessarily care about like the age of the moderators, because I mean, you're just watching our shit basically. Like I'm not having in-depth conversations with you, but like, what we said yesterday is like, if you wanted to message us about something within reason, we will answer it. Like if you had a relationship question, we can answer that. If you have like a life question or and bettering your life type thing, or you have like certain issues that you have going on at home or whatever, I can talk to you about that. Yeah. That doesn't bother me. Definitely. Now, if it starts getting weird, then I'm gonna be like, dang, I gotta block you, bro.
Like, yeah, it's like if anything, majority of these things we can sit here and make. If it's
nothing that I can
with public,
yeah, if it's nothing I can talk, public, yeah, if I can't say it on here, then I can't say it in the chat,
And like, mind you, if you tell us something like, some dark stuff like that's going on or whatever, of course, like you may need to seek higher help in situations like
that. We'll
do
what we can.
Yeah, we do what we can. We'll sit here and be here for you. But at the end of the day, I will tell y'all straight up, at least from my side, that I may like I love to be a role model, but I'm not everybody's role model. So I was like, when you're going through it, and I feel like you should look at that for all your content creators, at least for the most part, that everybody may be entertained, but everybody's not a role model. Everybody is not the role model that you may want for your kids or you may want for yourself. So like when he said going through those parental guidance, going through those controls and stuff like that, that's the thing you should be looking at, is like, okay, vetting these people out. Is this somebody that this is just gonna be entertaining? You can have, this is a Saturday person, this is the weekend person.
Yeah.
They want to watch these content creators over the weekend. Cool. During the week, no, you need to be on Miss Rachel. I don't know.
Like greatest, like best example, like I would, if I had kids, let my kids watch Kai.
Mm-hmm.
I would not tell them to look for Kai as a role model.
Mm-mm.
Because even though I love Kai, he's funny, he's great, he's just there for entertainment. Same thing with Speed. Probably wouldn't let them watch Speed. Speed gets a little crazy.
Yeah,
I don't want my kids to bark at me, but stuff like that. Like they're not inspirational, like that, and they're not trying to be. And I'm not saying like they're not as like a diss or anything like that. They just want to entertain people and have a good time with their friends, and that's what they do.
And then even with Kai stuff, I would be like, it would be like, it's a good thing how he has his stuff like section off. So like, okay, if you see somebody, you see a woman that got barely any clothes on and like in the thumbnail, all right, Timmy, we're not watching this one.
Yeah.
But you see like, oh, we're having a fireworks war. I'll let you watch that. I'll let you watch that one. They just doing for stuff, and then I also explain to your kids what reality is, because let them know this is fake. Like this is like this. They're doing this, and these are trained professionals, or these are just dudes that are doing it because they got the money for it.
Perfect example. When they let those fireworks off on 4th of July in Kai's room, that was fake.
Yeah.
They worked with Mr. Beast to make an entire replica of his room and then set all that stuff off. They never actually set that off in his house. It was all fake. And so that would be something that you have to like let your kids know, like, hey, strictly entertainment. Think of it like a movie. It's not real. Don't do any of this stuff. But I mean, it's also on parents, which they should, instead of having your kids be on the internet so much, if you're gonna do it, you can put parental guidance on almost every single thing that they do. It can go on consoles, computer, TV, all of that, and they don't check it. They just have the TV raise their kids, and then you're upset that your kid was talking to a predator.
Heck, I say this for the young kids listening, or anybody that's like that, or you're underneath your parents' household right now. Speak to your parents. I would honestly show them, like, if they don't even like, because some of the kids know that their parents aren't technologically inclined.
Yeah.
And that certain things you may have come across something already that you're like, this is kind of wild. I was like, I'll let y'all a little insight. For me, I was a lot like naive. I wasn't really naive, but it was more of I was very honest with my parents, to the point where I would literally, if something did not seem right, my first instinct wasn't to like, let me hide this from them. It was be like, let me show them, because I felt comfortable. It wasn't like I didn't think I was gonna get in trouble by showing them I was gonna get my butt whooped because of something that I mistakenly came across. Now, if you're doing something intentionally. We all been there when you discover things.
Yeah,
and then you start getting a little like, I can't show them this. But before, yeah. But beforehand, I remember surfing on the internet looking for y8games.com, Fun Brain, stuff like that. If y'all know, if you know, shout out to the real ones. But I was on there trying to play some Flash games, and I'm over here chilling. Next thing you know, I type it in. I don't know if I typed that in or it might have been you porn. you porn, add an N on that part. But
sometimes it's not even just that. It's because they have the pop-ups. So it, like, when you click on one, it opens up the other thing. And I think some of those had that. I don't remember if it was that one.
It may have, because they did have like the advertisements back in the day too. It wasn't as bad as it is now, but like it was like the couple of them.
Yeah.
So I might have clicked on one of those. But either way, the browser's back on Google. Then you were talking about I feel lucky when.
Yeah, I don't remember what I typed in, but it was something that was just normal, and that's how I found out about hentai, actually.
So I was like, whoa.
I was if you don't know what hentai is, don't look it up.
If you're below the age of 18, do not Google.
Yeah. So I was trying to find, because I used to watch AMVs all the time.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find one for One Piece. Typed in One Piece. Then I saw it at the side. I was like, I'm feeling lucky, and I was like, well, hopefully they'll find me a really nice AMV. So I clicked it, and I was like, what is going on? Why is she not wearing clothes?
Wear clothes. Oh, is that a penis?
Why?
Why is she grabbing her ankles? No, bro. I would be like, no, that's like it. Literally, I literally the time I was surfing the internet, I literally told my dad immediately when that shit popped up on my screen. I was like,
oh yeah.
I said, hey yo, it popped up. I said, oh, my eyes went cross because I've never seen like what I was looking at in that moment, so I couldn't comprehend what all those bodies were doing or anything that was going on. So I immediately turned to my dad, and my dad had the reaction of, oh. That man said, he said, oh, and then went and clicked out of it, and then got me back to where I was. And I was like, oh, okay, appreciate it, big dog. Let me go back to my Soldier Boy. So, I think I went to YouTube just to completely ignore whatever was going on.
Yeah.
And then later on, I just caught on like years later, of course. But it was just funny of being in those situations where it's like you could possibly be in a dangerous situation on Discord talking to somebody, and then you feel like these messages are getting a little too personal. Somebody asks you, oh, how old are you? And they're like, oh, like, how old are you? You're like, oh, well, I'm 14. And then you're like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 15. And it's like, okay, cool. What's cool? And then you start getting a little too deep and stuff like that. It's just kind of like you just want to be careful in these conversations. And if you know it's getting a little inappropriate or uncomfortable, you need to be talking to your parents. And then parents, if you're listening to this with them, or you may be listening right now, you got kids, be open to your kids and not like, because that's a vulnerable thing for them to even open up to you about their privacy, because at the end of the day, they do have privacy, and they're bringing this to you and saying a little bit. If you're not already locked in on their stuff, but if you gave them a little bit of freedom and they're telling you, hey, this is it, that's a sign of good parenting, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather my kid come to me about a weird situation than lie to me about it, because then I'm gonna be angry.
Now I got a dude pulling up to my crib talking about some, oh, we supposed to be
having I'm here to meet Rachel.
Here to meet Rachel. We're supposed to be having tea.
How old are you?
15. Sir, you are 27.
Don't tell my parents.
You are 27. Get away.
Yeah, it's you guys got to be careful, because there's a lot of weirdos out there, and with relationships and people's like stuff going in decline because people are weird, and there's a lot of people that don't know how to like talk to the opposite sex now.
Yeah,
there's just more and more people there going after kids,
and
it's just like,
what was that one video you sent me on TikTok? He was like, "Why you gotta go after kids?" He said, "Because it's easy, like easy target."
No, it was, well, yes, technically, but like he was talking about how it was one of the predator catchers, and he was talking to a 13-year-old girl, and he was like, in the chat logs of talking to the 13-year-old girl, you would talk about how you were attracted to your 4-year-old daughter, and he was like, why are you attracted to your 4-year-old daughter? And he was like, because of the innocence, and she's an easy target, and there's nothing she can do about it. And it was like a whole bunch of other stuff, and they didn't even beat him up. He was just so honest, they were disgusted. And then the police came, and he got in the car, and he didn't put up a fight at all.
It's like he knew. It's like he knew. That's it. That's a scary situation. Just to be next to somebody who's not tweaking out.
And they did this at his job too. So you would think that he would crash out while he's at work with people throwing these allegations. He was just like, I did it.
It's crazy. Keep y'all folks, like we've been saying consistently, keep them safe. Be have a discerning heart. All those things. Y'all pray for y'all babies.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is, like, if you have thoughts of being attracted to like underage people, I have way more respect for you if you go get help versus actually, because even if you are in the even if you're in the middle of talking to like a minor or whatever, and you just have that random clarity moment of like, what the fuck am I doing? And you just actually just go ahead and go get help. I have way more respect for you. Even though you fucked up in the beginning, you corrected it. I can still say, okay, you're doing the right steps.
Kind of like how Drake Bell was when he was like, kind of like he got further enough to be like, what the fuck? Like this is a WTF moment.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, cool. I eat that. I eat that I did get that far, and let me go ahead and figure it out.
Yeah, basically. That's why I don't have anything against him.
That's what I was saying. I was like, because I respect. Yeah, it's a lot more respectful. It's like, yeah, you still teeter on the line of weird, but it's not. You did the honorable thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like alcoholism. like people that have their whole life consumed with alcohol or whatever, and then they have they randomly decide to like get clean, and do the right stuff. So I mean, it's never too late. Well, I'm not gonna say that. It's never too late if you've never actually done anything to change it around to becoming a better person. If you've actually done anything, you should be castrated and burned in oil.
Yep, because then you already crossed the line, and you did, and it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late at that point.
Yeah.
Can't do nothing for you. Well, appreciate y'all coming through for another Down to Get Down episode. It's been lovely sitting here. I hope y'all enjoy the new format. Of course. Tell us what you guys think in the comment section below. Any topics that you guys want us to cover, anything specific you guys want us to really just get into, or as far as our reactions, what you guys want us to react to, because we've been talking about doing that a little bit more. Now that we have the space for it, boys might start getting into it and getting into that and having topics and conversations on videos we might be doing. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be lovely. For anything else, go ahead and like, share.
If you're down with the Get Down,